Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Notary Signing Agent Blueprint free webinar and training. My name is John Snedeker. Sit back and relax, and let's go ahead and get right into it. I have been a notary signing agent for over a decade in multiple states, completing almost 10,000 loan closings. I am actively succeeding in the field and helping other signing agents. And believe me when I say that this is my wheelhouse. I've had articles written about me and even been named one of the best signing agents in America by one of my national clients. This is an email that went out to thousands of signing agents spotlighting me and my signing business. I am also the owner of NSA Blueprint. We have our website, notarysigningagentblueprint.com, and because we have compassion and genuinely help others succeed, over 1,000 people actually care about what we have to say on Facebook. Plus, we have our YouTube page going, along with multiple 5-star reviews on both Google and Facebook. So what do? Well, we're America's top online training and certification for notary signing agents. We're a community and platform designed to help anyone get started and get more business with loan signings. Take Brooke, for example, in Florida, who was just getting started when she found us. She says, I am brand new, and the blueprint left me feeling confident to be a signing agent without any prior experience. And let's look at what existing signing agents really have to say about us. Here's what Greg has to say. Greg is a 9-year signing agent in Illinois, and after working with us, he finally knows where to get the top paying business and says that this could increase his income 3 to 4 times. And one more, let's look at Tommy. Tommy found us within his first year as being a signing agent. He says that after following the blueprint, his income was up 60% within 60 days, and eventually it turned to double. He also says that calls are coming in left and right. So what do we really do? Well, we boost confidence and income and help anyone crush it with loan signings. I'll prove that to you more later on. Here are some of the goals and what we're going to learn for today. We're going to talk about my story and how I achieved better results as a notary signing agent. We're going to talk about why you should be a notary signing agent and all the benefits, why they get paid so much, and how I get consistent $75 to $175, sometimes even $200 paying clients. We'll talk about how to make 6 figures a year doing loan closings, the only 3 things you need, and we'll finish up with questions and answers. So do you want to know who this webinar is for? Well, anyone looking to finally get started as a signing agent. You don't need any college or formal education to do this job. This is for people looking for the perfect part-time job. Maybe you're looking to supplement your income, such as a teacher in the summer, or want a Saturday morning job for some quick extra cash. Maybe you're looking for a different full-time job, looking for a more flexible schedule. Maybe you're tired of your boss and looking for a change. This is really for anyone who wants more income, more flexibility, more freedom. This job is amazingly flexible, and believe it or not, you can turn it on and off at any time. This is for upset employees, struggling business owners, and people who know that the corporate route isn't what it's cracked up to be, and people who are tired of the games being played at your job. This is for you. Also, this is for existing notary signing agents. If we could show you how to get 25 or even 50% of your orders in the $100 to $200 range with direct from title company business, what is that worth to you and your business? Just do the math. Really, this is for anyone over the age of 18. It doesn't matter your gender or where you are in your life. That's the beauty of real estate. In real estate, no one needs to know you to get started. You just start. So if you're on this entirely free webinar from the comfort of your own home, that means that you didn't have to fly anywhere, rent a hotel room, or come to a costly in-person live event. So since we're streaming to you conveniently and personally, be sure to stick around until the end. We'll also be answering your questions if you sent them in already via our instructions earlier. So what is a notary signing agent or loan signing agent? Think of it as this. Mobile notaries will drive to somebody, stamp a document, and they'll get paid and they'll leave. Notary signing agents are a mobile notary, but they only work on paperwork for real estate transactions. They show people where to sign and date for a living. Sounds pretty neat, right? As a signing agent and as a notary signing agent, there's no magic. It's actually all just easily done by yourself. You don't need to recruit anyone, or you don't need anyone else to do this for you. This is an opportunity where you meet with new people where you work or where you live, help them sign and notarize their loan documents, and you get paid between $75 to $175, sometimes even $200 a closing. My personal motto is sign documents, get paid, repeat. It looks like something like this. You're going to drive to the appointment, you're going to notarize and show them where to sign and date, and you're going to leave. And you're going to earn between $75 to $175, sometimes even $200 a closing. And then you'll drive to your next closing, and you'll notarize and show them where to sign and date, and then you'll leave, and then you'll earn more money. And the third time, you just continue to drive to appointments, show them where to sign, date, and make sure you notarize, of course, and then you'll leave. It is really that simple. Keep in mind, signing agents are not attorneys. So by law, you cannot explain or go into every little detail. It's more of a collect signatures kind of job. So how did I get here almost 10,000 closings later? And why am I still doing it? And more importantly, why do people actually care what I have to say? You know what? I wasn't always a successful signing agent. Quite frankly, I'm just a regular guy. Here I am with my friend Andrew goofing around. Growing up, I didn't have a silver spoon in my mouth. I went to a very small Division III state school. And guess what? I drank just like everybody else. On the plus side, I was an academic All-American lacrosse player, eventually playing for a USA team in Australia, which was an amazing opportunity. And then reality sets in. I graduated college in '08 with over $65,000 in student loan debt. No one could land a job graduating college at that time. All the job promises from school were empty. Plus, companies were laying off to restructure, or worse yet, going under. 2008 was rough and a horrible time to graduate. I remember applying to over 40 jobs just to get 2 interviews. I took the only job that offered, and I was lucky at that. I mean, I had over $65,000 to be paid back. I had to do something, and quick. It turned out to be a job at a financial banking company as a loan officer, helping people refinance their mortgages. Sure, it was 2008, but we were actually going through a merger and buying another bank. So this company was one of the largest banks in the world, and I felt pretty safe. I took a deep breath, I started learning the business, and finally started to gain some traction. At one point, I won the once-in-a-lifetime sales contest, and believe it or not, they actually sent me on a cruise wherever I wanted. That's me going down the slide. It was great. There was only one major problem though. A few months later, they were shutting down our entire mortgage division across the entire country. I was devastated. My student loan payments alone were over $700 a month, and I was close to being behind on my rent to my parents. I didn't want to feel like a failure, especially to my parents. I had to make a change, and fast. Too many companies were still failing, and I wanted no part in reapplying to jobs again. I thought in a way that college had sort of failed me. I mean, didn't I sort of pay 65 grand to get a good steady job? But deep down, I knew it had nothing to do with them. So I looked inward and started to feel sorry for myself, and I just didn't know what to do. And then it hit me. I had always seen a really nice couple come in to notarize and close loans for our office. I would see him more frequently, sometimes even several times a day for closings. I knew they both dressed really well and had a really convenient, sort of flexible schedule. I also happened to know that they were getting paid very well for the closings. Why? It was on all of my paperwork for all of my loans. The closer I looked, simple math made me guess that he was making at least twice my salary. No matter how hard I tried at the bank, I could never seem to get ahead income-wise. I saw the closings rarely lasted over 45 minutes. It was pretty cool. It was like he worked for us, but he didn't work for us at all. Once he was done with the paperwork, he was like, "See you guys later." He had the freedom I dreamed of. He was independent, had great pay, and he had the schedule I wanted. It was like my ultimate aha moment, staring right before my face. I went on to become really good friends with both Ralston and Donna. After he finished one of my closings, I followed Ralston out into the parking lot. I told him I wanted to become a notary signing agent if he could just show me how to get started. I was nervous even asking him, but what did I have to lose? They seemed to all have it figured out, and it was pretty clear I didn't. I didn't have many other options. I know it was a simple question to ask him, but I wasn't used to asking anybody for help. I said, Ralston, how does it work? When am I even going to find the time to do closings? I still have a job right now. He said, you just have to do one thing. All you have to do is look at your weekly schedule and find blocks of time that you're available. The jobs will come for those times, I promise. I remember it clearly. I took a look and noticed my schedule was very predictable on a weekly basis. For me, it was easy to be available after work, 5:30 to 8:30 in the afternoon, Monday through Friday, and even Saturday I was available. And that's all it took to find me 15 to 20 hours per week to do closings to get started. Pretty easy, right? It took me less than 5 minutes to do once I knew how it worked. And here's when it clicked for me again. I knew that if I could just get set up to do one closing a day after work, it would allow me to quit my job and go full time. You see, I noticed there was a monthly amount I wanted in mind to make, but all that really mattered was that I just made enough to pay the bills. Once I knew I could hit that lower number, I could make the change. And better yet, once I did, I'd be able to free up another 8 hours a day for way more closings and making way more money. I got excited. I thought I had it figured out. And then I said, Ralston, I don't know how much money I need to start. I mean, I already felt so broke being $65,000 in the hole. He said, look, you're thinking of it all the wrong way. If on a regular basis you are paid $150 per closing, you need to consider the small upfront cost as your entry fee to get in the game. It's kind of like if you don't pay for your ticket, you don't get into the amusement park to have any fun. He promised me to have the faith, and he was right. And I'd be able to leave the bank and get that schedule that I wanted. He told me to stop overthinking it. He was a wise man. From a distance, I really couldn't picture it, but once I started, it all became very clear. These orders were right in front of my face the entire time. $100 to $150 a closing in 45 minutes max, and he was even in the office multiple times a day. I just never made the connection. I took a few minutes to focus on what I said, and it became very easy for me to find the money to get started because there were $100 bills waiting for me when I opened up my schedule. At the end of the day, I trusted him, and I saw how well he was doing. Guys, it was easy math. I kept thinking, Ralston, this is great, but I don't have any experience. He said, John, doesn't everybody start at closing number one? He was right, and I felt like I was asking him too many questions. He went on to tell me that there are people everywhere, millions of transactions that happen every year, pretty much at all hours, between 8 o'clock in the morning, even 10 o'clock at night sometimes. Banks, credit unions, online lenders, mortgage brokers, you name it. Even multiple transactions like purchases, when someone buys a home, refinances, or when someone sells a home. He said when you understand what to do, there's no shortage of orders floating around for you to pick from. He gave me enough information, and all I needed to do was get started. And so I did. Guys, I was off to the races. No matter what concerns I thought I had, Ralston always proved me otherwise. I still talk to him to this day, and believe it or not, I had him and Donna at my wedding. Guys, let me ask you a question. If you looked at your weekly schedule and knew you were available, would you say yes to signings that are under an hour and pay $75 to $175, sometimes even $200 each? You can easily do this to make great money. It was only once I got Ralston's wisdom, everything started to just make more sense. I actually stopped questioning myself. I got out of my own head. And you know what? It actually worked. I just proved it to you. Yes, it can be done when you don't think you have the time, money, or experience. Isn't that awesome? So where did the transformation happen to become a successful notary signing agent? In a very short amount of time, I was making $150 a closing, which took me about a half hour sitting with someone, and making more than my full 8 to 9 hour day job. You see, I wasn't even using my own car. My car was an absolute piece of crap. Guys, I was dead broke. It was 2008, and I would borrow my mom's car and pay her $20 each time I took it to go out for signings after work. I wasn't going to let anything get in my way. Again, this was 2008, and even I was sleeping on a mattress on the floor at my parents' house, and I was losing my job and even borrowing vehicles to pull this together. So why did I want it so bad? Guys, I was getting really tired of my bank job. I mean, our office was closing at the bank, and they still had us coming in early, staying late, and switching out new bosses all the time. It was chaos. The only thing I could think of, the only thing that mattered to me, was how quickly could I just be a signing agent full time. Why? It's because I knew I would make more money, I would have a better schedule, way better boss myself, and I would free up 8 more hours for closings. I knew I could make it work. You would try to do the same thing if you were in my shoes, wouldn't you? Day in and day out, I was committed. It was only a matter of time before I'd finally be full-time and I'd be living my dream. Here are some things that helped me along my journey. I started reading some really good books from people at the top of their game. I learned that no one knows all the answers up front, but you take a step and you take a second step and you just keep going. It becomes clear to do once you're actually in the moment. Once I got started, I had a burning desire to be more efficient. I focused on quicker closings. Little tips and tricks like sneaking in 15 minutes early allowed me to do way more closings every day. I actually started asking Ralston better questions, things to make things easier for me. I found that success was a choice. So what does that mean? I made a choice to drop the bad clients and only add clients who paid more and gave me less headaches. Once I added a few of those select companies, my phone was ringing off the hook. I learned that I would no longer tolerate things in my life that prevented me from success. I became crystal clear on my goals. And what was the biggest one? Freedom. Freedom to spend more time how I wanted and less of the corporate noose around my neck. So let's talk about some of the results I achieved. Do you want to know what they are? I became more successful when I started working with larger national companies. Ralston told me there were millions of transactions, and I believed them. I reached another layer of success when I stuck to real estate closings only. I actually found 15 different business streams, and I had laser focus on the top paying closings only. Because of that, one of my first years in business, I made almost 70 grand, and I was only picking up steam. It was all starting to come together as Ralston said it would. Once I became who I needed to be, I was efficient. On my best day, I was able to do 9 signings, clearing almost $1,000. Almost $1,000 in one day, guys. I was signing paperwork with people. Paperwork that you know by law, since you're not an attorney, you are not allowed to explain in depth. What does that mean? It means quicker appointments. Guys, on the good days, I make $300, $400, $500, or even $600. You just have to work for it, that's all. Then take the next day off if you want. Here's a golden nugget for you. You wouldn't find me on Facebook, social media, or notary forums. Too much a waste of time. I was focused on me and my family's future and focused on what mattered most. Another key is you can't try to master something before taking the first step. You're not going to know everything. It's impossible. People wait on perfection their entire lives, and because all the lights are never green at the same time, they never even take the first step. The way to get the results is to simply start walking. Another winning concept is to focus less on the money. You have to focus on the value that you bring to others. Look, if your bank account is not exactly where you want it to be, go bring more value to others. Do you want to know how I did that through loan signings? It's simple. You get what you want when you help them get what they want. So let me show you what becoming a notary signing agent has given me the opportunity to do. All of this. This is me traveling by jet ski on the French side of the island of St. Martin. Me and my wife snorkeling on an island called Tinta Mare. And here we are at Disney World, where we love to go to sports games too, so we travel frequently. Here we are up in Boston at the Legends hockey game inside of Fenway Park. Been to Miami to an NFL game, and up to Tallahassee for the Florida State Florida Gators game with 85,000 people. It was nuts. I'm here to tell you that you are just one closing away. If you can just get set up to do one closing, you can do as many as you can fit in your schedule. So where can you be 2 to 3 months from now? Could you start part-time like I did? Guys, you can easily do this. Soon after I made almost $1,000 in one day, the news spread. And signing agents across the country started emailing me and calling me. Why? Well, they wanted in. Let's do some quick math for you guys. If you did just 2 signings a day at $100, that's 50 grand a year. Even if you did just 2 signings a week at $100, that's still over 10 grand a year. Would you be okay with an extra 10 grand in your pocket at the end of the year? $100 is what many consider the lowest amount that they'll take for a signing. Maybe you could use it for an extra vacation or something special for you or your family.